All right. Want to welcome everybody to another week of Cowboys Ride for Free Picks from Joe's. We are trying to have a very special week, but one special individual is deciding at this point that she probably has priorities over us. So putting kids to bed, that kind of thing. So we'll see if Denise Lowry manages to join in. If not, you're stuck with it's too bad because we could have Denise in here, probably one of the better-looking Oklahoma State fans, along with three of the uglier Oklahoma State fans. You've, of course, got myself, Wetzel. You've got our usual King. And joining us again, kind of making a habit of this now, is Oklahoma.
Addictions. One of them is Oklahoma State.
We're giving him something to do on a wild and crazy Saturday night wherever he's living. So there we go. So all right. So as usual, we have 5 games this week. All 10 teams in action for Picks from Joe's, going from our least interesting game to our most interesting game, and of course, what would be the least interesting game without Kansas? And it was pretty easy to pick this one out because they have the most tickets. Kansas at TCU. It's going to be a noon game Eastern, so 11 o'clock Central on Fox Sports 1. And they have the most tickets available. There's 1,313 tickets still available on StubHub as of a couple of minutes ago. And the least expensive ticket available for this game at TCU, guys,
$4.
Price is Right. What do we got?
$4.
King?
I go 11.
Wow.
It's not double digits.
2 for 2. Winning Price is Right on the tickets.
Wow.
Lowest price ticket is $14.
Wow.
$14 to go to Fort Worth and watch. I mean, TCU's got it like the line is 45. TCU's laying 45. Over under, kind of a weird over under at 71.5. What do you think? You think TCU just runs them out of the place, guys?
That's how every game they've played so far this year is gone. I don't see. They've got a combination of they suck really bad. They're absolutely atrocious, and TCU has got to be pissed off right now.
Yeah.
They just have to be upset.
Texas Tech didn't run them out of the stadium.
Yeah, Texas Tech's pretty terrible too.
Yeah. When you have
That first half against us was just atrocious. I mean, look at what happened in our game against Tech. We shouldn't have won that game, and we still beat them by like 20. So Kansas can't cover the deep ball. So is the TCU receiver hurt? What was his name?
Doxson.
Yeah.
Doxson.
Is he back or is he?
No, he's going to play.
He's out.
Yes.
Did it come out that he's out for the year, or what's the story? I didn't see any activity.
There was some confusion on his conference call. Gary Patterson said he's only got 3 games left and the bowl game, and then he's done. Well, the guy is going to be done after this year, and the reporter didn't understand him and thought he said he was done for the year. So today Patterson said he's going to play.
Wow, that's sort of like that thing that happened with Kevin Peterson early, and Gundy said, "Oh, he could practice, or he's going to practice, or something against was it Central? Right out of the gate, Central Michigan or something." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Why risk it?"
Yeah,
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if he sees the field. But be that as it may. Mike, what do you think? Is this like TCU's going to like grind him up and spit him out, or what do we see here?
It's really sad when you have less scholarship athletes than an FCS school, and it's going to take you 3 or 4 years just to basically join Division I. Basically just to join FBS again. I was not impressed at all with TCU. I don't know if that was us or what, but Boykin was off all day. They're still going to win anyways. Boykin could throw with his offhand and they'd still win by 21. But, yeah, Kansas has no shot.
That's not going to happen. So there's our least interesting game, and it ought to be. I struggled with this next one. I struggled with the next least interesting game. I'm going to let you guys, I kind of know what my vote was. I'm going to let you guys pick between Texas at West Virginia, Kansas State at Texas Tech. Oklahoma, what do you say?
Texas, less interesting Texas at West Virginia. For me, I want to see the contrasting styles in K-State and Texas Tech.
Okay.
In terms of entertainment, they're about the same, but I just want to see the contrasting styles.
All right, King, which one?
Oh,
Interesting. King is in deep thought.
I guess I'm just staring at them real quick. I guess I'd go. I don't know. I think the only thing interesting.
Uh-oh.
My mouse is frozen. Have y'all lost me?
No, you're here.
Oh, I have no mouse, so we're gonna hope this works. I just want. Each game has one team fighting for a bowl game, and if they don't make it, like we might. The Big 12 has a chance of. We have like 8 bowl tie-ins. We may only fill like 5 of those. And that's impressively bad. So I'd say that as far as interesting, they're both even because West Virginia needs a win, and I think Kansas State or Texas, either one of those, they need to win and then win again.
Yeah. Well, Mike voted Texas, West Virginia. That's what I had on my list. So you've got Texas at West Virginia. Both teams with 4 wins on the season. And you're looking at 899 tickets. My glasses are getting better. No, 889 tickets available. The lowest price ticket's $55. West Virginia's favored by 9. The over/under is 53. That seems kind of low. Am I wrong on that, King? What do you think? I mean, that feels like a low over/under on that game.
Well, I mean, I think part of what hurts it is you look at what just happened to Texas, and they got, basically run ruled at Iowa State. Their offense, one time this year, they decided they were going to line up and just beat somebody, and that was against OU. I've never seen a team outside of Kansas have so little in the way of a passing attack. They have nothing. Their receivers, if it hits them in the hands, they drop it. That's if it hits them in the hands, it's amazing because normally they're about 3 area codes away on those passes. So the only thing I can see there is I don't expect Texas to score a whole lot, but they seem to have a decent defense. So I could see a 35-10 West Virginia win, something like that.
Wow. King going with West Virginia spanking that Longhorn ass. Look at that. What do you think, Mike?
I have no clue anymore. I still feel bad. 2 weeks ago, I took them over Iowa State, and they absolutely messed the bed. I want to believe Charlie Strong's a good coach. I know Joe Wickline's a good coach, but I think they have so little in the cupboard. Probably 9 out of their 10 best players are under 20. Like, they don't have an upper class. I think Texas loses, but it's within the spread.
Yeah.
Probably 7.
West Virginia's been so turnover prone.
They don't have a quarterback either.
Yeah, I'm thinking Texas loses. West Virginia covers. They've got some confidence. They're coming off a win against Texas Tech. They held up pretty well against Tech's offense. in that game. So I mean, I can't imagine they'd have a harder time dealing with Texas, the Longhorns offense.
Right.
That 53 for the over/under feels just a little, just feels a little strange. Almost like it's a little bit low, maybe. I don't know. So
I think it's probably right on the money.
Yeah, that's why I don't gamble on this stuff. I have no idea. So.
I mean, you could have 30-20 and it'd be a semi-close game and still keep the under.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we got so the third least interesting game, and I have to agree, Mike. I agree with you on this. I'm actually more interested to see what happens when Bill Snyder trots out his friggin' 83 running quarterbacks against a defense that. I guarantee you the three of us could each rush for 100 yards in a game against this defense.
K-State, I agree.
Yeah. K-State. Oh, by the way, let me just go back here. We got the Texas West. It's Texas at West Virginia is also a noon kick, so 11 a.m. Central. That game will be on ESPNU. All right, so now we go on to K-State at Texas Tech, where we've got I tell you what, this is terrible. The print is so small on my glasses. Tech needs another win to be bowl eligible. Or another win, or they need two more?
One.
They need one because...
I think 5-5, aren't they?
They didn't play an FCS team, did they?
I think those count, don't they?
Right?
The FCS teams count now?
One.
We played Central Arkansas, so I hope they count.
Yeah, I hope
count one, but not two. Because that got Snyder.
Okay. All right. So K-State at Texas Tech. Pretty nice day. 63 degrees, partly cloudy. There are no tickets available through the ESPN app on StubHub, so you got to click on the link to get there. So that's kind of lame. Texas Tech's favored by 5.5, with an over/under of 72. Over/under of 72. Texas Tech by 5.5. King, what do you got?
They followed the same pattern they did against Baylor. I think Kansas State can walk down there and just walk out with a win because they said our defense can't stop them, so we'll just keep their offense off the field. And I'm really glad they figured out this new kind of like delay read option thing they're doing now instead of when they play.
Yeah, we start using that.
Because that's what the year Auburn went to the national championship game 2 years ago against Florida State. They just use that little delay option thing that if you're not, you have to have better men. That's all. It comes down to man-to-man coverage and be better. And it's really tough to do.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think? You think K-State covers or just pulls up the straight win, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not impressed with Texas Tech's defense at all. That got the little 5'6" wide receiver or whatever Texas Tech has is amazing, and I wish he was on our team. But other than that, I don't see how. What against Baylor? Didn't the Kansas State quarterback ran it about 27 times, right? So why won't they, like King said, why won't they do the exact same game plan? I'm not real sure Kingsbury's time in Texas Tech land is going to be too long here. It's
I tell you what, I was just about to ask that question. I mean, if they lose this game,
yeah, the fact that he's Cliff Kingsbury's going to save him for probably another year, but I don't. They've had 9 defensive coordinators in 9 years.
Oh.
If they were to lose this game, the one thing that I think will save him is they finish the season at Texas. If they go win at Texas and go to a bowl game, then there's no way they'd cut him. But if he loses out and misses a bowl game for, that'd be the fourth straight year. How long has it been since they've been to a bowl game? Was it last year? Did they go?
I don't think they went last year.
Oh, we're checking. We have technology on our side.
But either way, whether they went last year or not, I think if he misses a bowl game, he's in trouble. If he doesn't, then he's fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So I'm going along with that. I think K-State might pull the upset here. mild upset. I think they might do the same thing they do with Baylor. Just run Texas Tech into the ground. Tech has not shown that they can defend the run. And, I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to tell. You know, Stidham, that was his first start, an entire game. He looked good. But I'd be hard-pressed to say that Tech's offense at this point is better than Baylor's. So K-State sure enough has a shot at this. Mike, you look pretty focused there. Are you finding?
I was looking at the Texas Tech bowl record. They didn't make one last year. 2013 Holiday Bowl was the last one.
Oh, there you go. So this could be 14, 15. This could be 2 consecutive years if they don't get another win. All right. So now we've tipped the corner. We've turned the corner into what is not least interesting, but quite possibly a very interesting game. All right, so before we do that, tonight's drink of choice, as you guys all know, one of my favorite, Dos Equis Amber, ice cold. It's like water going down. Boys, what do you got in the house over there?
King?
Oh, there we go. Oh, Labatt's blue.
I'm not gonna lie, it's whiskey and ginger ale.
Ah, there you go. That's what we're talking about.
It's so good. So, while we're taking a break for a minute, you guys know South Alabama is on TV right now on ESPN? On ESPNU, and they're on the 2017 schedule if you want to be really nerdy and get a look at the offense.
What's the chance they have the same coach then?
I don't know. They're 4-4 right now, and they're up on Louisiana Lafayette. So unless he goes somewhere, I think it'll be okay.
So
that's good.
Wait, who's on TV again?
South Alabama and Louisiana Lafayette. South Alabama is on our 2017 schedule at South Alabama.
Uh-oh.
That must be the one of the 3.
Yeah, that's the
2-1 game.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, Sun Belt coming at you in a year and a half.
All right, so here we go. After a brief delay.
Uh-huh.
All right. OU at Baylor. Baylor, for the first time all year, has to play somebody that the national pundits will think is a worthwhile opponent. All right? They're trotting out their freshman QB now against a real football team. OU's hot. Their offense is hot, guys. Since they lost to Texas, the offense has figured that crap out. We've got 300. What we got here? 316 tickets available on StubHub. Starting
at about $100.
$166.
Damn.
166. Baylor's favored by 2.5. To me, that's a pick'em. And I'm kind of interested in this. The over/under is only 76. Over/under is only 76, Mike. That's kind of feeling a little. That feels weird to me right there with these two teams and the offenses there. I know OU's defense is number 1 in the conference. Excuse me. That feels like a low number.
Yeah, it really could be, but having talked to a couple Baylor people, and I know they've won the Big 12 the last 2 years in a row, but November is where things start to get hairy for them, and they kind of slide in. They've kind of slid into the Big 12 the last 2 years, truthfully. I'm trying to think about what's best for Oklahoma State, and I think what's best for Oklahoma State is for OU to have 2 losses. I hate Baylor, but if we could bury OU for the year, I think that's best for us. So I'm reluctantly going to hope they pull it out. But there's a good article on SB Nation this week about Baylor and their flaws. I think it's on Football Study Hall if you run by there. I've started to get into that a lot more. Basically, if you can keep them in second and third and longer, you have a lot better shot. So I think OU can do that, but then again, Bob Stoops' brother is an idiot. So I'll go with Baylor on this one just because I want it to happen, I think.
King, you said you were a Sooner fan this week.
I've been pondering if I've ever wanted OU to win a game so badly. If I ever wanted them to win a game at all. And I can't. One of the happiest days of my life was when USC just crushed them in that game. I laughed the entire game. That was dope. But, as much as I want to hate OU, it's one of those more like kind of respectful, I have OU friends. They seem like sort of tolerable people, occasionally hatreds. Baylor, I just hate everything about it. Like, there's just nothing good. I've been to Waco a lot in the past 2 years with my job. It's a shithole.
It is.
Oh. And I think, honestly, I'm going to disagree with you slightly on what's best for OSU. I think a Baylor loss crushes them. I think that's it. Because they know they have to go undefeated to get in. Because if not, it's going to be Notre Dame, or if the Big 12 champ is not, I've heard people talk about OU. If it's not us or Baylor and we don't go undefeated, Big 12's out again. Because Jeff Long and all those guys, they've already proven that.
I wouldn't be shocked if we get left out if we go undefeated.
Well, at that point, then we riot in the streets and we burn Arkansas to the ground. But, the only thing I've got left for this game, I made me a little visual aid.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's all I got on it. And I'm gonna watch it, and I'll say it right now. I know it doesn't matter to Bob Stoops. Oh, I am excited to see Mike Stoops' face on the sidelines. Or is he going to be in the box?
He's usually on the sidelines, isn't he?
I need some Mike Stoops' face this week. But I will be humming along to Boomer Sooner if they can go ahead and take out Baylor and Waco. Oh, it'll be a good night.
I tell you what, there's some type of I've got some type of a like strange, like emotional reaction to this game. I really don't like Baylor. The idea of Baylor three-peating as Big 12 champions,
it's disgusting.
Is disgusting. I don't like the program. Art Briles has obviously done stuff, but I think they've probably done funny stuff, and I don't like the fact that he coaches dirty players. I'm with you, King, in that. Look, do I hate OU? They're the hated rivals. I hate them. My hate of OU has evolved, obviously, as I've gotten older. And I've obviously got people on Twitter, and my lifelong best friend is a Sooner fan, and we've shared a lot of conversations about it. We were in a hotel room together in Los Angeles for the drop in '88, which I'll never forget. But I want OU to win this game. I want Bedlam to be God damn you, OU, for losing to Texas. All right?
Whatever, I was there.
You assholes. What are you doing? You screwed up the opportunity. Imagine us both sitting here undefeated, okay? Undefeated, with the opportunity for both of those teams to go to Bedlam undefeated. If that wasn't a game day, I don't know what it would be. All right? So, damn it, anyway, I want OU to win. I want Bedlam to just be for everything. For the Big 12 title, winner gets into the playoff. I've thought about this, Mike, and I was initially, maybe a couple of weeks ago, you could have talked me into, hey, Big 12 team is not going to get in, undefeated Big 12 team champ is not going to get in the playoff. I think an undefeated Big 12 champ, obviously it's got to be OU or OSU or Baylor. if one of those two teams goes undefeated, I think they get in the playoff. I think what happens is those last 2 or 3 games, they're going to end up jumping somebody, and somebody else is going to lose, more than likely. I think they get in. I think there's enough activity out there, enough conversation that, look how far Oklahoma State jumped. If OSU goes and takes care of business against Iowa State, doesn't do anything that makes the committee go, maybe it was a fluke against TCU. TCU's got to take care of business. Against Kansas, they can't go out and look like cripples against Kansas.
I think that's
if OSU then, I'll tell you right now, if OSU takes apart Baylor in Stillwater again, they will definitely be in the top 4 going into Bedlam. I had no question in my mind. I don't care if Baylor's lost a game or not. I think that momentum has turned a little bit with OSU jumping as much as they did. I mean, they jumped 6 spots.
Right.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. As I said last night on Mark Rogers TV, it's a freaking committee full of human beings who, God knows what their logic is for figuring this crap out. All right,
yeah.
So who the hell knows? But I'm rooting for OU. They got to prove to me, this is big game Bob time. They got to prove to me that they can go to Waco and turn this thing around where Baylor's just been spanking the crap out of them for a couple of years now. They got to turn this around, and they got to have to prove it to me. I think Baylor might still pull out like a touchdown win, maybe, field goal touchdown. It'll be close, but OU's got to prove to me they can win. I'm rooting for them, but every time I root for OU, they lose. So, anyway, all right. So on to the most interesting game of the week, as always, involving Oklahoma State, and I just don't. I mean, I'm gonna confess right now, as I tweeted it out. All right, somebody put that hype video out, which was incredible. That redemption video, that was great. I watched that.
Right.
And my son saw me watching that, and he comes over. Like, my son could give a shit. I'm not kidding you. He could see me in the corner curled up in a ball, and he'd say, "Oh, hey, Dad, you come play video games with me," or "Dad, you come look at my Legos," or something. He wouldn't, "Dad, go get me some milk." He wouldn't give a crap. He saw me watching this video, and he comes over, says, "Daddy," says, "you're sad. Is this a sad video?" And I showed him the whole video. I explained the whole thing to him, which he didn't. I don't know if he got it or not.
Did you show him the scars on your wrist?
What's that?
Did you show him the scars on your wrist too?
Oh, God. And I'm not kidding you. I got, like, emotional watching this. And I remember that. I went to bed. My wife, I came to bed, crawl in bed, I kissed my wife on the cheek, and she immediately says, "What's the matter?" And I thought I'd gone to bed. I thought I'd kind of come to bed, pretty, not making a stink about anything. And she doesn't know from sports. And I said, you don't understand. I said, people died in a plane crash, and Oklahoma State just lost their first game of the year, and they're out of the national championship. And she gave me a big hug. And I'm telling you, I watched that video. I was emotional watching that video.
I believe it.
It's one of those deals. I know this is not the same deal. I talked about it last night in a hangout. I know this isn't the same thing. You've got kids that were there. You got a couple of coaches that were there. So they're taught, you don't necessarily have a tragedy at this point, in the week. God forbid. So I think there's some awareness. It's not the same. It's like, goodness gracious, we're going to Iowa State. We're undefeated. Now we've got all we've got attention. I mean, what do you think, King? This is your baby. You hate Iowa State. They ruined your life. What do you think going into this?
2004. I woke up the morning after that game in the woods by my house. That's how that night went for me. I didn't make it to bed. There was no kissing the wife goodnight. I woke up with a squirrel chewing on my feet. That's how the night ended. All right, it got bad. It got ugly. I blame Iowa State 100% for the loss of years of my life. Mike Holder better have a no-fly policy this week. All right, the only people getting on a plane is the team. That's it. Everybody else, keep your ass home. Just wait. You can go Monday. You can go Saturday, Sunday. I don't care. You ain't going nowhere tomorrow. You stay the hell home. Just chill. Now, this team, I think, from what I've seen, has this way to like focus and compete that even in 2011 they didn't have. Occasionally, we would get up big and then just stop, not give a crap, and we'd hang on to, we'd still win by 20 or whatever. But that team knew they were good and knew they should just walk in to beat people. This team has learned after playing Texas Tech and West Virginia and Central Michigan or Eastern Michigan, whoever the hell we played up there. You can't just Kansas State. We've been in a ton of close games where they've had to work till the end and win. 2011 didn't have to do that. They blew people out so early that half the games were by halftime. I remember that. Remember Arizona? God, I love that. We got Mike Stoops fired that year. That was amazing. We whooped that ass so hard. And it was just, we had just the way we went about our business was we're just going to stomp you out. And if you try to fight back, and the one team the entire year that fought back was Iowa State. Iowa State wasn't going to put up with our crap, and we did not respond very well. This current version has fought all year. This isn't anything new, getting into a game. So I expect this one to be, truthfully, I'm expecting like what we, probably close to what we did to Kansas, like 50-10, something like that. I think we're just going to kick the crap out of them.
Yeah, you're agreeing with that, Mike?
Yeah, I agree. This isn't 2011. We're better on the defensive line than we were then, so they can try to run it as much as they want. It's not going to work. They're going to keep the, pedal down this year. That was a horrific time in 2011. Just not even for losing a football game. Who cares about that? But with the plane crash and everything, I was in Denver and I found out from a kid sitting in front of me. I know in previous weeks we talked about me never having seen it. I was at a college hockey game and the kid in front of me checked it on his phone. And I saw our logo and I said, "Hey man, what's the score?" Well, they just lost. Oh, crap. No, Iowa State's not going to win today. I mean Saturday. Sorry, it's not 2011.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. I think we had Kyle Fredrickson on Tuesday night, and yeah, obviously OSU's undefeated. They're highly ranked. They've got some attention, and they're going to Ames. But it's definitely a different situation. And you've got, I tell you, you could have no better person involved in keeping the team focused than J.W. Walsh, who was there. So I think the general keeps everybody focused and in line. I'd say OSU should win the game handily. The line is OSU's only laying 14 points. That feels like low. That's low, right?
Our lines have been low all year. They have undervalued everything we've done, and I'll give them, all right, there's good cause for that. Kansas State shouldn't have been close. Central Michigan shouldn't have been close. I mean, look
Texas
at how
shouldn't have been close.
What was that?
Right, Texas shouldn't have been
Texas
close.
should not have been close.
I mean, we've just had a bunch of games that shouldn't be close. But this year, I see us finally playing not down to the competition, but up. Like they have gotten. Like if Texas did to us what Tech did, we wouldn't have won the game. But 3 weeks later, played some more tough games, worked hard. All right, Tech gets up big. There's no panic. We got rid of our panic. The game me and Wessel were sitting at Kansas State.
God!
Here's some panic that day.
All right, so we've got 190. I can't hardly read here. Looks like 190 tickets. It's I can't tell if it's worse if I have my glasses on or not here. These are old glasses. My new glasses haven't showed up. Yeah, 190 tickets available on StubHub, starting at $41 for the game at Jack Trice Stadium. Going to be a nice day, 61, and nothing but sun is the forecast. Like we said, the line is 14. Over under 60.5, which is, again, that's kind of an interesting line. 60.5. You figure Oklahoma State, I mean, you wouldn't be surprised. OSU should score 40, right? You would think?
40 to 20, 40 to 15, somewhere in there.
So they could, if they hold Iowa State under 20, you could have like a 42 to 14 type game. So definitely under 60. So that's kind of interesting. But I agree with you.
14 right now.
What's that?
If you let me have 42 to 14 at this moment, I'll take it and walk away.
You and me both. You and me both, King. So that's I'd go with that. I want Oklahoma State. They need to walk off this game by at least 3 touchdowns, at least, and it needs to be an easy game. Like if you're going to win by 3 touchdowns, get up early, and then just kind of maintain. Don't have one of these deals where. Honest to God, guys, if this is in the third quarter and it's like a 1-score game, don't.
24-7 in 2011.
What's that?
It was 24-7 in 2011, wasn't it?
Oh, now I'm going to be superstitious. If it's 24-7 in the third quarter, I may stop watching.
I'll be 100% honest. I'm not watching any part of this game. I'm not gonna be. I got a birthday party to go to. No, I ain't even gonna try.
Yeah, I don't know. I may tell this may be one of the few times I tell my wife, please make social plans. So, all right, King, we need one last before we talk about that. Well, no, you know what? Hold on to it. We'll talk about this first. The college football playoff rankings we've all had to talk about it. On a level of 1 to 10, all right, whether OSU or Baylor wins out, we'll include Baylor at this moment because they're still undefeated. Whether Oklahoma State or Baylor wins out, on a level of 1 to 10, 1 being least likely, 10 being highly likely, that an undefeated Big 12 champion gets left out of the playoffs. So the higher the number, the more likely they get left out of the playoff. Mike.
Can I go second?
Oh, okay. King, you're on the spot.
I'm going like -5. You can't. Because at that point, you're going to have to tell me that Notre Dame's good loss. I want to talk about that for a second. Good loss. They're a loss. That's the stupidest phrase. A loss is a loss. I don't care if you lost to Sam Houston State or to the New York Jets. You fucking lost. That's what happened, all right? You're done. So if you put a 1-loss team in over an undefeated team from a Power 5 conference that would have then beaten the number 8, we'll call it 12 and 6 teams in the country in the span of 4 weeks, there's no hope for the system. LSU and Alabama getting in help break the BCS. If that happens, if an undefeated Big 12 team gets left out, then that helps break the damn college football playoffs after 2 whole years.
All right, now Mike, that's it. Now you're going second. There's no.
Yeah, no, I probably can't go third or fourth even. If Denise, no, she's not coming. No. But okay, so thinking about it, Stanford still has Notre Dame left on the schedule, so one of them is going to lose. So one of them is going to fall behind whoever's undefeated, right?
You've only got two matchups. You got Stanford, Notre Dame,
right,
and you got Ohio State and potentially Ohio State and Iowa.
Okay. Where's Ohio State, Michigan at this year? Do you know?
Oh, I'd have to look up to see where it's being played. I don't know.
Okay. I'm a little more pessimistic than that. I think there's a shot, maybe a 4. Maybe a 4, because I feel like we're going to beat it. First of all, I'm not real optimistic that anybody goes through it undefeated. But it seems like the national narrative gets moved around to help the SEC and some of the other schools, but the exact same evidence is used to hurt us. With TCU's injuries, eventually they're going to start discounting our win over TCU by the end of the year because TCU is going to drop at least one more game. And so everybody's going to say TCU wasn't that good and things like that. So I'd probably put it with about a 4.
That's actually not bad. That's lower than I thought you were going to say. I'm just, and I think part of this actually depends, I think, a little bit on what happened Saturday with OU and Baylor. And that's where, you talked about what's best for OSU earlier, Mike, and that's, it's interesting to kind of have that debate of if OU wins out, okay, because what are they ranked? Where are they on? Are they not, 13, 14 in the rankings?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So if they beat Baylor, let's say this weekend they beat Baylor, they're going to make a big jump. They should make a big jump. If they don't, then the committee's definitely got a bad bias. Because if you're discounting Alabama's loss to Ole Miss,
right,
who's already lost 2 games, one to Memphis and one to Arkansas. Texas Tech beat Arkansas, people. Toledo beat Arkansas. If they ding OU and don't bump them up as much as they should, if OU wins this weekend in Waco, then I'd almost kind of go with you, Mike. Yeah, I could almost go higher. I'd go 5 or 6. It kind of depends on what happens there. If they do bump them up, then OU's getting kind of that, that blue blood program. Kind of like Ohio State or Alabama, that kind of thing, or hey, OU's winning and we like OU because it's a big name type of thing.
What's Ohio State done this year to prove that they're anything?
God, I hope Iowa wins.
Yeah, they haven't, but obviously, the committee, it's a bunch of humans.
Yeah.
They can't divorce themselves from the fact that Ohio State's the defending national champions.
Right. Hey, ponder this for a moment. Say you got Notre Dame finishes with 1 loss. They beat Stanford at Stanford. Good win. We go undefeated. Iowa goes undefeated. Who gets left out then?
Yeah. That's the thing. I talked about this again in a post on Cowboys Ride for Free was, if you just look at that, if you look at that scenario, which I guess is worse in this case for OSU, is if you're 8th, there's only 2 teams ahead of you that are going to lose, okay, going down the stretch. So it's either going to be Ohio State or Iowa, or it's going to lose a game, and either Stanford or Notre Dame is going to lose a game coming down the stretch. So that only gets you to 6.
Right.
All right. So now you've got a 1-loss Alabama, you've got a 1-loss Stanford ahead of you, potentially, or a 1-loss Notre Dame ahead of you, potentially. You've got 1-loss teams that could win out. You still, even if you get to 6, the committees and those other 5 teams win out, the committee still has to vote you up.
Right.
So, yeah, there is that chance. Baylor's honestly in a better position because they've got a couple of spots, higher up already. And if they drill OU this weekend, then definitely they'll look all right. So, hey, I'm getting a warning here, guys, that I'm about to run out of battery on this sorry little ass laptop here. So, King, hold that sign up one more time just for good measure.
Oh, and I'd like to point out that as of today, I am 31 years old.
There we go.
You're how old?
31.
Yay! Happy birthday! There we go. I've only got you by like 22 and a half years. So there you go. All right, folks. Make sure you got your diapers on for the game Saturday afternoon, just in case. We all have to shit ourselves for some godforsaken reason. And if you're traveling around, obviously be safe. And you like how we used a little deception there? We told you Denise Lowry was going to be on the show, but she wasn't. So you still came on and checked us out.
I lied to you all.
Anyway, Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks, Mike and King, for coming on, and go Pokes.
Absolutely, go Pokes.